Bonjour. It is just me this week, so going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'll still cover plenty. Um, the reason for that is Chad and his lovely wife just welcomed uh, a new daughter into the world. So if you've seen our social media, um, feel free to reach out to congratulate Chad. He and Lauren see all the messages and everything, and appreciate everybody reaching out. Baby's healthy, hearty, other H adjectives, um, but we're always happy to see that the SCJ family grows again. But anyways, stuff that came out this week, there was a lot. We had Tier 1 baseball released this week, which it's always high risk, high reward. I really like the design this year. It's still one of the only sets that you can get bat knobs in. I really, really like Tier 1 as a product. It's just, like I said, it's super, super risky. Also out this week, Topps Series 2 Mega Boxes, which they get you a shitload of cards for not a lot of money. Not a shitload of money, if you will. Those, I think it's over 100 cards in there, which is a little bit less. It's that you get over half of a hobby box in a mega box. Great for kids, great for people that just want to rip packs, collect Series 1, Series 2. Very, very nice overall. I know I've already touched on the checklist for Series 2 with Murakami, Kazuma, Okamoto. Gigi Weatherholt is a short print as well as Kevin McGonigal. So, especially with how both of them are playing this year, those prices are going crazy for the short prints. Sal Stewart is also on that checklist. He's cooled off a little bit lately, but still having a pretty good rookie year. He cooled off as soon as I traded for him in fantasy. So if you have him in fantasy, or if you're a Reds fan, I'm sorry. I'm the reason. But also out this week was 2025 2026 SP Authentic Hockey. So, home of the Future Watch Auto. We've only seen a couple boxes open so far. Kind of the same thing that we usually see with, okay, it says you're guaranteed one Future Watch Auto, but most boxes are going to have 2 or 3 autographs in them. You're going to get some extra veteran autographs, maybe an extra rookie autograph, but overall, very solid product as always. Well-rounded. Print quality is decent on them this year. I know it can be a little bit tough on those like 55-point cards, but I think it's on par with pretty much every other SP Authentic. People are going to be hunting Schaefer, Kindle. I don't know if Beckett Seneca ended up on the auto checklist. I'm assuming Dimidov did. But also out this week we had NBL Topps Basketball. That is the Australian Basketball League. We also had UEFA Soccer Finest out this week, which Chad and I have touched on it in the past. We really love Finest overall, especially just you get those kind of retro-like designs. You get a lot of stuff that feels like 90s and 2000s inserts and refractors and that kind of stuff. So, especially with the World Cup going on, I think that's something that I think will be pretty hot. But also, speaking of the World Cup, this week we had Prism World Cup. Not to be confused with Prism FIFA, which came out months ago. But the World Cup Prism product is out. I mean, it's one of those high risk, high reward products, just like Prism has ended up being for football, basketball over the years where, yeah, the price point is a little high, but I mean, if you hit a gold Messi or a gold Ronaldo, you don't even need ink on the card for it to really go crazy in value. So, especially just with how much emphasis is being put on this World Cup since it is in America and we love consumerism. I think prices for these cards are going to go absolutely bonkers. Let's see, what else did we have this week? Knockout UFC, like we touched on last week, that's basically UFC Museum Collection. I'm not a big UFC guy. I prefer real combat sports like the WWE, but I guess UFC is fine too. Bring back like the OG days of MMA where you'd have a 350-pound guy versus a 180-pound guy. Bring back Kimbo Slice. Resurrect him. And then also Pitch Kings Soccer, which I am a sucker. I love absolutely anything that is Panini Kings, whether it's Diamond Kings, Court Kings, Gridiron Kings, and now Pitch Kings. I just really, really like those card designs, almost like a canvas type print on the card. But those are pretty fun. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. This is the first year that they've done it, so we'll see. A lot of times when card companies like Panini or Topps debut a new product, they kind of load it up so people will want to buy it in the future. So I don't doubt that, especially with the World Cup, I think those might hit pretty heavy, especially for a newer product. I think those will be good. I don't know off the top of my head, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put nah, because they put Kabooms in Donruss. Maybe they'll find a way to put some kind of downtown or some other type of insert, because they usually put color bursts in Obsidian, but that product should be pretty fun. Looking forward to, like I said, any product with Kings in the title. Just a reminder for people, on July 4th, that is next Saturday, I had to triple check my calendar because I was like, it's not July already. It almost is. But July 4th, we will be operating on holiday hours. We're going to be open half day, 10 to 2, first half of the day, not the second half. It'd be a little weird if we were like, nah, we're going to do the 2 to 6. But yeah, we'll be open 10 to 2. So if you need supplies to rip, or if you need actual cards to rip while the fireworks go off, feel free to stop by. I don't think the new SCJ mascot will debut that day. It would be a perfect day since it's America's birthday, but I don't think the new mascot is going to be debuting at the shop anytime soon. Also coming up, we have the National that is coming up at the end of July, which that is the 29th to July 29th to August 2nd. So really looking forward to that. We will be open normal hours during the National at the actual shop. So if you're not able to make it out to Chicago for that, you can still stop by the shop for just about anything you need. We got the B team going to be working that week. Marty, Tyler, I think Chad, the legend, and I are the ones going to Chicago. And then we'll have a couple other people helping out just so we can stay open that week, because we know a lot of people get a lot of FOMO. You see a lot of social media posts during that time of people at the National, and then people miss out. So you can still get your card fix if you feel like you're really missing out from seeing all of those clips online and everything. So, like I said, this is going to be a light episode. You don't want to hear me ramble for an hour. Trust me. There's going to be some weird shit. But I did want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart because it drives me absolutely bonkers. There is a trend online of people using the word MSRP, or I guess the abbreviation of MSRP, to try and shame other people, whether it's buying at market price or whatever. We see this a lot in the Pokemon community, which drives me absolutely crazy because right now the Pokemon community can be really really inviting, very very great. It is also one of the most toxic fucking places on the planet right now. It drives me absolutely batshit crazy. Um, because there is that dichotomy, there is that yin versus yang. Whereas Pokemon has almost always been just, I don't know which one's the good and the bad in the yin and the yang. If you know, let me know. But because Pokemon has always just been this inviting environment, very kid friendly, family friendly, but right now with the demand being crazy high up, especially being the 30th anniversary of Pokemon this year and them doing a lot of special stuff with that, and that is 30th anniversary of just Pokemon cards. So that started in Japan. We didn't get them until 99, but 96 is when they started over in Japan, so that's why it's the 20th anniversary or 30th anniversary overall. It's not just in America. It's not all about us. But the demand is crazy high right now. You can't find stuff in stores. Market prices are going absolutely crazy. And a lot of people in the Pokemon community will just lash out. I know people that are robbing themselves of card experiences because they will only buy product if they can find it at MSRP, just like it's always been. Well, for those that don't know, MSRP is like $5.49, I think, per pack. I think $59.99 for an Elite Trainer box, and around $166 or so for a booster box, which has 36 packs in it. Now, most products, when they come out at this point, packs are market prices being around like $7 to $8. Elite Trainer boxes, which is basically like a Pokemon Mega Box or Booster or Blaster Box. But those have been debuting at like 80 to 100, and then the booster boxes with the 36 packs, which are basically Pokemon hobby boxes, those are debuting anywhere from like 220 to 280, and people are saying like, "Oh, I'm not paying that much," which like, okay, that's fine. We are always below market when those new products come out, just knowing we have to average our cost on what our initial stock came in at versus what we're going to have to rebuy the product at. Like Chad has said in the past, we don't like raising the price out of nowhere, so we just trying to kind of try and average a lot of that stuff. But the thing that drives me crazy is these people that cry MSRP, MSRP, MSRP. For years, and I mean years, market or MSRP, so manufacturers suggested retail price for booster boxes, the 36 pack boxes, were around like 142 ish, 142, 144, somewhere around there. And when the products would come out, you would find people dumping them online for $90. And like, that's pretty much cost, or was cost at that point. And we, I mean, smaller shops, we can't keep up. And then we would get, blamed for, oh, you're charging 120, I can buy them online for 90. Like, okay, but like we can't make money. Like, we can't stay open doing that. and the boxes would just sit. I remember a couple years ago we put a specific set booster box on sale on Black Friday for $90. It was either $90 or $85. Pokemon Sword and Shield Fusion Strike, and I think we sold two boxes at this $85 to $90 price. I just put one of them out the other day that we bought off of somebody as part of their sealed collection for I want to say around $1,000. It's crazy, just the growth that has been in the Pokemon market, but just the complaining, like to a point where there's a newer product that just came out that MSRP I think is either $14.99 or $17.99. You get a couple packs in it, including a promo pack. They're very hot. A lot of people want them. So like you're not walking into Target or Walmart and finding them. At the time that these came out, market price online, if you were trying to buy it, was around like $60 to $70. Well, at that point, we were priced at $40. Yes, that's a lot higher than the MSRP of $14.99. I get it. We already had to buy more, which I wouldn't be surprised if the new ones cost us $40 or even more. So that's back to us just kind of averaging that cost. But people don't understand what businesses have to go through for this kind of stuff. And it just pisses me off. Like somebody posted in a local Pokemon group that they wanted to find this newest box. They were striking out everywhere, couldn't find it. So I posted like, "Hey, we have some left at Sports Card Junction." Posted it as myself, my personal page, and somebody else asked like, "Oh, how much are you guys?" And like somewhat reluctantly, I answer. I said we're $40, just because somebody else had posted that another shop in the area was $40, and I knew the market was like 60, 65. And immediately somebody commented and said, "Wow, your store sucks." And somebody left us a bullshit 1-star Google review. Somebody who's never been in the store before, just saying they sell $15 items for $40. They're just as bad as the Facebook scalpers. Which, like, come on. People are just throwing around buzzwords at this point. And it pisses me off because people don't know what they're talking about. Like, people refuse to acknowledge that market exists for a reason. I saw this recently with Platinum Anniversary blaster boxes. Somebody posted in the group Sports Card Nonsense. They said, "Well, Platinum Anniversary boxes were, $39.99 at retail, and now they're up to $75. That's crazy." And like all these people are saying, "Why? Why is it up so high?" It's simple demand, simple supply and demand. You dense motherfuckers! Like, come on. Simple economics. I'm not talking you need to complete a whole college course on economics. No, this is like the simplest form of that. And just and I would tell people that I'm like, "Oh, demand." And other people are like, "Well, who's demanding it?" I'm like, obviously millions of people. Just the disconnect of some people who just want to complain because things don't go their way. A lot of the Pokemon people find it hard to believe that they want to buy the products for MSRP. Well, for years we were selling product $40 to $60 below MSRP, and that was too much because the market was lower. So the market price only matters when those people get a good deal. And I mean, those people weren't real collectors in the first place. They saw that they could make money because the market was a little bit under, and they hopped in. But now Other people are in on it and they're done. They don't want anything to do with it. And I see this all the time in sports cards, Pokemon cards, everything. You see people complaining about the market rising, like, oh, I can't buy the cards I want anymore. Yes, um, but the cards that you already have also gone up in value. So, like, you're not shit out of luck. Just people are so self absorbed, just in general, that you need to just take a step back and objectively look at things. Okay, yes, this box that I want is $60 more than it used to be. Okay, but this box that I already have is now worth $300 more than it used to be. Like, yes, it sucks when people get priced out of the market, especially if they're true collectors. It happens, unfortunately. But I just, it drives me absolutely crazy. And I know I've touched on it in the past, but Chad's not here to stop me from ranting about it. And it drives me crazy. It's just seeing that 1 star review from someone who's never been in the shop just drove me absolutely crazy because we get a lot of business based off of our Google reviews. A lot of people come in and they're like, oh, I looked up card shops in the area and you guys have really good Google reviews. So, okay, that's great. We love that. But at the same time, we know there's people looking at those Google reviews and seeing these bogus 1 star reviews, and maybe they're thinking to themselves, okay, well, maybe we won't go there, even though it's not true. We had somebody leave a 1 star review about like 8 to 10 months ago because they got scammed by somebody on eBay who was using their eBay profile picture was a picture, an old picture of the shop. I think from like an old Beckett article or something like that. That was just online. They probably just because at one point when you just Googled baseball card shop, we were like one of the first couple pictures to pop up because we were in that Beckett article, and this person was listing Pokemon cards on eBay and then just never shipping them and taking the people's money. And this random lady in Texas got scammed, and she left a 1 star review for us saying, I'm not sure if it's actually these guys, but I reversed image searched the profile picture on eBay and it came up with these guys. So, in case they are scamming, be careful. If you know how to do Google image reverse searching, you have the wherewithal to actually look into, hey, that's not even us. That eBay's page wasn't even listed in Pittsburgh. I forget where it was even listed. It was like South Carolina or something like that. And that 1 star review is still up there, even though we replied to it saying like, hey, we looked into this for you. That's not us. It was somebody using our picture from our old shop that's 6 years old at this point. Actually, even more than that, like 8 or 9 years old. And she never fixed her review. And I went onto her Google page, looked at some of her other reviews, and reversed image searched something. She reviewed a photography company for taking pictures of her for her work. I think she plays the cello, and I found like her cello company, and I messaged them. I was like, and I know that she's the owner. I was like, hey, this is gonna sound weird, but just seeing as you're a small business just like us, you know how much Google reviews mean. So if you could go in and amend yours, and I just reiterated, okay, here's what went wrong. I understand how you found us, but that information wasn't correct, and I got left on red. So at this point, I'm glad that she had her money stolen and is stupid enough for that. But that I don't know. If that is that's not the official Sports Car Junction response to that situation. That's just me personally. It's just it drives me absolutely crazy. Just this and the whole MSRP thing. So if you haven't left us a Google review, please feel free. We would greatly appreciate it. But I will end on some of more of a positive note. I'm not just going to sit here and be Eeyore all day, but the summertime in the shop, it gets crazy, crazy busy, and it can get frustrating at times. Absolutely, especially if I'm trying to get stuff done. But we love just seeing the energy and just all of the kids that come into the shop during the summer. As I was recording this, two probably like 10 to 12-year-old girls rode up on an electric scooter to the shop. We have plenty of kids that live in the neighborhood behind us that either walk here or ride their bikes here, and like this is their hangout spot. And 9 times out of 10, well behaved, just high energy. So just kind of, I have to remind myself sometimes, like, hey, they have that excitement that I wish I still had. I still get it at times, but just the overall community, especially during the summer, everybody's happier because the kids are, well, not everybody. Parents usually aren't happier because the kids are not in school, which I don't understand that yet because my daughter just turned 2, but I know one day I will absolutely understand that. But yeah, just the overall energy and the vibes at the shop during the summer is just, it's like rejuvenating. It just feels so nice. We see the same thing when we have trade nights and things like that. So we love seeing younger collectors come in. We have plenty of older collectors, middle-aged collectors, just of all ages, but we always see a wave of new kids coming in the summer, and it's just, we love to see it. We're there to educate the kids. I know we talked about that on the last podcast, but it's very heartwarming to see this growth, this continual spring season, if you will, of new collectors every year after school's out. One kid might bring their friend who's never been into cards before, or we've seen kids come in and do their own like box break, kind of like, okay, you get the left half, I get the right half, or a lot of kids earn money from doing chores for the summer or reading books, and they're so excited to come in. I see a lot of it with the Pokemon, and it feels really good. And honestly, lately I haven't seen a whole lot of reluctant parents, which makes it that much better. We know a lot of the parents, I mean, it's not their thing for cards, and they just kind of sit and moan and groan. But we see a lot of excited kids this time of year, and even the parents are being excited. So that's just super nice to see. Like I said, ended on a high note. Other than that, Chad should be back recording with me next week. But thank you guys for listening. Like I said, you wouldn't want to deal with an hour of me rambling. Half hour? All right, that's borderline, but that's what you got.